Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Isaiah Hill, and today I'm going to be doing a review of The Martian. I love this film. Without further ado, I'm just going to give the rating. It's an amazing. This film, before I get into like who's in it, it's just so amazing. The Martian is stars Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Sebastian Stan, Kristen Wiig, and Jeff Daniels. But also has Sean Bean, and he doesn't die in this film. So The Martian is about an astronaut who gets stranded on Mars, and he is part of NASA, and he's a botanist. And he gets caught in a violent storm, him and his crew barely escapes, but while he's caught like in the mist, and they all assume that he's dead. Like the whole world thinks he's dead. But then we see that he's alive, and he has to now survive on Mars. And Matt Damon plays the character Mark Watney so perfectly. It's like it was made for him. My mom used to say Matt Damon should have won, not Leonardo DiCaprio, for The Revenant. That's a film I'll get to probably tomorrow. I don't know, sometime this week. Definitely. Um, it's The Revenant and The Martian kind of have type similar issues, where two men are caught like in something violent, like The Martian. It's a storm, while The Revenant, it's a bear, and they're left behind. But this one's accidental because they all thought he was dead, but in The Revenant, he's left for dead because they think, oh yeah, he's just going to die, so we might as well just leave him here. The film The Martian, it's very intelligent. Like it goes all over the place with it. Like one scene you have like where Mark Watney is making water. You have one scene where he's carving out a cross in order to like get something to burn. You have it like where it's growing potatoes, and you're so happy because you don't want this guy to die. And this film kind of has a happy feel to it. Mark Watney is always making jokes. He's always having fun. I mean, this is a guy who can probably die at any minute, but he's enjoying it. While back on Earth, Jeff Daniels plays director of NASA. And everyone now discovers that Mark Watney is actually alive. So everyone's confused. So Mark Watney is sending NASA is showing NASA like, oh yeah, I can move back and forth, that I am actually alive, and everyone's trying it, and then it gets to the point like where they're trying to bring him home. Is it even on here? Okay, on the covers, like even on the posters, like on Matt Damon's face, it will say like "Bring him home," and the music in this film, a lot heavily on disco and '70s music. My favorite song is "Starman." From this movie because it fits so well, and I'm a huge fan of David Bowie. But if I had to pick a disco song from this film, it would probably be "Hot Stuff." The Martian is a film I will highly recommend to anyone. Like if you like films like Castaway, or like films like Desertion, like where people are left behind, or like where they're stranded somewhere, this is a film for you. Castaway is a pretty dark film. This is a very light film. This film, it actually shows like, oh yeah, he could possibly not get rescued, because they even show like where like nothing goes as planned. Then you get like the ship is called the Ares, and this Mark Watney's crew, they realize that Mark was actually still alive, but the director doesn't want them to come home because he doesn't want them to go back to Mars because they need to go back, because they just need to get back home. But they're willing to risk like another year or so to go back and get them. Mark Watney is so lovable, and all the characters, they're lovable. Jeff Daniels, he plays like a perfect douche, and it's kind of funny because if you watch him in Dumb and Dumber, you'll be like, wait, how can he do that? Like, how can he go be that? From being like playing someone who's really really stupid, but play someone who is very smart. Oh, sorry, just lower that. And the film is just, like I said, it's very intelligent. Like they really, it was like, oh yeah, let's use this. Let's use this setting, and it's directed by Ridley Scott, who directed Alien. Ridley Scott loves sci-fi. He's really good at it. The Martian is actually the first like sci-fi film where no one dies, and I found that to be amazing. And Sean Bean's in it. Sean Bean is known for dying in his movies, and Cinema Sins. I'll put the link down of everything wrong with the Martian, and they're like, oh yeah, well this doesn't make sense, and they have Neil Tyson who's talking about like the film, and it's pretty. And Cinema Sins is known to make like videos that kind of poke fun at it. I mean, they don't hate all the films. It's just every film, um, every film has flaws, which is true, and it could ruin the movie, but it's really meant to be about movies that you have seen. Like, why would you watch a review of a movie that you have never seen? It's like everything wrong, like with The Martian. Doesn't mean they hate the film. It just means that they see like some flaws. Um, like me, like I can admit The Martian does have some flaws. Like sometimes I feel like some of the things that Mark does, like how he should have kind of died in a way. Like some things happen, but I don't care because the film makes it seem like it's makes the character seem perfect. The climax is amazing. The ending is amazing. The beginning, the middle, all of it's amazing. Now, if you're wondering why I went climax to ending to beginning to middle, it's because when you get a good climax, it could save a movie, in my opinion. A good ending, a good beginning and good middle, it really sometimes doesn't matter because the film can still be bad. But yeah, like The Martian, I will recommend to anyone. This is a film I feel like a lot of people should watch if you want to go into like something like botany, because that's what Mark Watney is. And botany is a very interesting science. And they equip in it, even the movie, they're like botany is not really science. And it's really interesting, like how Mark Watney, he has such a happy attitude. Like he has fun with it. And you see him like his life on Mars, and you see the people at NASA trying to bring him home. And it gets to where like they don't have to try and communicate. Communicating is probably one of the best scenes, and it's pretty advanced what they're doing. And Mark Watney spends like over a year, I believe. I really forget, like on Mars, but like all the whole film is just amazing. I'll recommend it to anyone. Um, Jessica Chastain's in it. She does a fantastic job as Commander Lewis. Sebastian Stan, there's even a joke in the film, like I want to fly around like Iron Man. And if you know Sebastian Stan, he played Bucky in Captain America. So part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The thing is with The Martian, are like, oh yeah, well, it's pretty brutal. And I'm like, yeah, it's meant to be brutal. Castaway was brutal. And Castaway, if I think about it, Castaway is more brutal than this. This film appears to have much more of like, let's get home. Like, I want to get home. I want to see this again. I want to be here again. Castaway, I believe he goes more insane. Mark Watney doesn't start talking to a ball. He actually has a camera that he talks into, like where he can basically record his life. Castaway, it was more like insanity seeping. But this film, you can't really say Mark Watney went insane. I don't see it. Because Mark Watney was having some form of communication, like with someone. Castaway, it appears like, oh yeah, is he really having communication, or is he just going, or is he going crazy? Um, really, guys, the month I really can't wait for is October to talk about some horror movies. Um, when I get some horror movies, Christmas time will be pretty fun to talk about some Christmas movies. And I do enjoy talking about these movies. You guys are amazing for taking time out of your day to watch these. I really appreciate it. This will probably be my shortest video. So, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you wish to see more of my movie reviews, subscribe. If you want to request anything, say anything, reply in the comments. And yeah, check out The Martian. Like I said, the movie gets an amazing. The acting, the setting, everything is perfect. So, I believe that's it. So, my name's Isaiah Hill, and I'm signing off. Thank you, guys.